These guys suck more HSV dick than they do each other's. You can just tell these two reek of HSV jizz, Homo twins for sure.
It looks like that guy must have seen our last episode where we were talking about emotional Ford XR6 owners.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments about, a lot of likes saying we much prefer Holdens and Fords. So, did you own a Holden?
Last time I checked, I didn't. Do you?
I don't own a Holden.
What's your daily driver?
Well, I drive a Ford XR, so...
There you go.
There you go.
Talking about quick cars like XR6s, well, they're not as quick, but they're pretty impressive for what they are. The other modern generation Golf GTIs and Golf Rs. They're very fast for what they are, but the DSG gearboxes, I can't get my head around it. They sound like shit.
They sound terrible off the line when they kind of have this stage kind of launch limiter thing. Even when they go down the track and they change gears, it sounds like the car's burping or farting or terrible. There's no intake. You couldn't even tell the car's turbocharged.
There's no character.
No.
I've driven around the track. I've actually driven a GTI and a Golf R, and don't get me wrong, they handle fantastic. They brake great. They do everything great. I can see why people buy them. And as a daily, they're a pretty good car, but they're a bit soulless.
No soul.
No soul. Bit like us.
You're not God.
So what you're saying is you probably wouldn't buy a Golf.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, a lot of these new modern cars really they don't sound great because you don't hear that kind of change in revs with the gear change of the manual. Most of these cars now are sold with DSGs. People prefer them. They're a bit
like a computer game.
Yeah, look compared to an old four-wheel drive, they'll eat it just because they run out of the box awesome, say 0 to 100 times.
It's the way the industry's going though. Manual gearboxes are dead. I love manuals and I'll always drive a manual, but I can see why people don't like them. They're a bit annoying in traffic. They can be.
At the drags, they're kind of just going down the quarter. I mean, you could put one finger on the wheel and listen to the radio.
Why not just at the drags? Go to a track day. I mean, I don't know. I'll always like cars that have got 3 pedals personally, but that's personal choice. And everyone says like autos are quicker, and they can be, but that's not the entire driving experience, is it?
No, I think a lot of people are like. I guess our audience is pretty focused on drag racing, and so are we. But we more than appreciate a car that can handle and turn. I mean, it's not all about straight line speed.
No.
If it's all about straight line, then
there's only really one car you'd buy, yeah?
Oh, hell yeah. Have you seen that new Civic Type R? Nürburgring, blistering times.
But we saw it you and I actually saw it at SEMA last year.
Yes. They had kind of not a prototype, they just had a teaser on display saying this is the model that's going to come out this year.
It's quite big in real life, not a small car.
That's huge.
But, geez, it looks like shit.
Horrible. If you think it looks bad in media, as in just a photo, in real life, the thing's a tank. What happened to being a little nimble Civic?
Yeah, I mean, you and I aren't dissing on Hondas. Geordie and I have actually both owned VTEC Integras. Back when Hondas, I don't know.
When they only weighed 1,100 kilos or something.
Yeah, I don't know where new cars are going, but everything is just way too big, too heavy. Yeah, I know everything's got safety features in it, but it's just become so sterile.
235 kilowatts through the front wheels.
Through the wrong wheels. I know it'll put the power down pretty well. Obviously it does. Look at the time it's set at the Nürburgring.
Yeah.
But these modern front-wheel drives are actually pretty smart.
It's got three exhaust tailpipes on the like weird. It was like they had their input from a 12-year-old or something. You would have to be blind to notice Lexus styling in the last 3 years. It's just going from bad to worse. Yeah. I mean, they've come out with a current model, I think it's a GSF or something. It's terrible. Like, it's so bad, the styling. You sit in the road and just go, what?
Some of their styling, it's actually filtered down to the Toyota Prius. It's like a computer. It actually looks like a computer case, a desktop case.
I actually forgot about the Prius.
With vents all over it.
Just shocking. It's like they want to... I guess they don't want to have the typical Toyota Mazda 3 front end that all looks kind of similar. And they'll have a unique look. But there's a difference between a unique look and it's going to be another 80 Falcon.
Yeah.
The Lexus looks like it's half its headlights have kind of fallen off and merged into the bottom of the bumper bar. I mean, and the badge in the middle, the Lexus badge, it's almost, and when I say almost, it's almost as big as a Holden badge. This is how big it's getting.
No, it wouldn't be as big as a Holden badge.
No, I don't think anything's as tacky as that. But see, Ford badges look.
Yeah, I don't mind how they've kept the traditional logo.
Ford badges are a normal size. Have you seen a Peugeot? I think it's a Peugeot. Yeah. Oh, it's as big as the headlight. Bit of difference between trying to push your brand, but it's really detracting from the look of the car. What you got there? Another comment from a Barra fan.
Apparently, he didn't like our last video. Another one. The reason you claim Falcons feel like a taxi is because they are still in one piece and running reliably. There's a reason that there's no such thing as a Commodore taxi, you flogs. Flogs. This guy sounds a little triggered.
There's not a reason that Falcons feel like taxis. They are taxis.
What you doing, mate? The f*** you doing?
Commodores, it is true, Commodores aren't really used as taxis as much because, you know, they're used for more important roles, you know, like policing the country. There's been a lot of talk the last few months about the availability of United E85. It's probably the leading brand of E85 in Australia because it's probably the only brand that is actually genuine E85. A lot of them are like E70 and those sorts of
lower blends. And
lower blends.
Some of them blend it with 91, not 98.
Yeah. Well, a few weeks ago, United came out on their Facebook page and actually said they're committed to E85. So hopefully that's a, you know, it keeps going like that because who knows where it'll end. I've heard that's taking too much of the sugar production out of the north, but who knows? We'll keep an eye on that one for you.
The massive comment we see on the net is about ETs at the drags.
Oh, yeah.
And they're written by people that have just zero understanding of what mile per hour means on a drag strip and how it relates to engine horsepower. And it's far more important, really.
Yeah, they'll compare two cars running similar ETs, and one's in an old 70s lightweight car like a Tirana versus a brand new Holden Ute. And it's like, can't you get your head around that the new car has different style of suspension, IRS. It's not really, you know, suited to the drags. Not to mention the car's about 500 kilos heavier, but that just seems irrelevant. Like, it's just simple physics, isn't it?
Oh, you'll also see comments. You might see a guy go to the drags and look, his car doesn't hook up. There's other issues. The car might run a 12 at 140 miles an hour. And the first comment is, well, my WRX runs a 12, and you're like, we're talking about 140 mile an hour versus probably 110. It's a massive difference. It's
massive. It's not even in the same league.
It's just ignorance.
Yeah.
They don't. But they get on there. It's not like they get on there and they big note themselves like, I've got a 12-second car, and they're dead serious. They don't understand that 140 mile an hour, once it's set up right, it's probably going to be on the door of a 9-second pass.
And another thing that shits me to tears, I see it all the time. Actually, I saw it just the other day on a video I put up of a Coyote engine just getting a dyno test. Standard issue reply on something like this. Wait, it's horsepower per litre. It's like 80 horsepower a litre. Honda are getting 100 horsepower back in the 80s. Like, who gives a flying fuck about horsepower per litre? And they don't even seem to mention this little thing called torque. But I'll try to read this message out. Just bear with me because the English is a little substandard, alright? Alright, we've got this guy here who claims that we do love Barras and we don't hate them like apparently we came across in the first video. We've never actually said we didn't like Barras.
Yeah, we're just saying...
We actually said they're awesome.
We're just saying we love all the LS hate. That's what we love.
Oh, yeah.
These guys love Barras. Is their Barra any good? Please, the new 2J. So he's saying how people refer to the Barra as the new 2J. Because, well, I guess it kind of is. All this stuff, the Barra is nothing next to the big Jap stuff. Watch their videos when a Jap car smashes a Falcon and they will edit it out. That's not car guys.
What ain't no country I ever heard of? They speak English and what?
I can tell you now we've never edited out a Jap car beating a Falcon. So I don't know what the hell that's about, but we'll continue.
Okay.
That's guys that like a brand of car that's far from the Street King or the Track King. But on the net, the Barra kills everyone, when really the Barra gets smashed more often than it wins. It's the net, it's full of shit. Apparently the Barra doesn't beat anything, and this guy loves Supras. Because I tell you what, the Supras that go to the track in Melbourne, there's not many quick Supras that I've ever seen at the track, to be honest. And the Falcons do smash them. That's what's hilarious. So Mr. Supra, just keep writing these quality comments, and maybe go watch some of these videos. Got some fan mail. This bloke says, looks like there is some green screen shit going on with you two, similar to Alien Covenant when the two androids meet each other. The average LS owner is a dirty smoker who loves to get pissed.
Until watching this video, I thought this was just one guy. There's two of us? If one of yous... What's use?
Use, as in
Use.
you want to use something.
Oh, you want to use something.
Yeah.
Has a flog in the shower, does the other jizz his pants as well?
I'm not touching that one.
So this week's tool of the week, I don't like to badmouth the police force, but the Queensland Police Force in this article I read the other day, this is just ridiculous. This bloke was loading up his boat at a boat ramp with his van, and he drove it from the ramp just into the car park to tie down the boat.
Apparently it was 15 metres.
15 metres he drove, and he got done, 3 demerit points, $365 fine for not wearing his seatbelt.
Gotta buckle up.
And even he said, you know, if your seatbelt, you actually got the van and the boat in the water. Wouldn't you want to get out if something went wrong or whatever? He's just driving at 15 metres. I mean, come on.
Yeah, what's that teaching? That's just going to put people offside with the cops. It's not.
Stuff like that's ridiculous. It's just idiotic.
Even if the cops wanted to, they could have walked up and just said, look, we want to see you wearing your seatbelt, but actually fining and demerit points.
Now, the senior sergeant is quoted here as saying, it's well documented, even with low-speed traffic accidents can cause significant injuries to driver and occupants. And wearing of approved seatbelt significantly reduces injuries to the drivers and passengers. 15 metres out of a boat ramp. The guy wouldn't have done more than 5 kilometres an hour. Come on.
Wipe off 5.
Yeah, wipe off 5.